In a world where healing is often measured by machine and medicine, there's a place where recovery breathes through color, rhythm, and soul. Bali International Hospital rises not merely as a sanctuary of science, but as a living canvas where art doesn't decorate space but transform it. Here, brushstroke whisper comfort and silence is filled with meaning. Today, we step into the rare intersection between medicine and humanity, where healing is not only clinical, but deeply emotional. We are honored to welcome Dr. Noel Yeo, the President Director and CEO of Bali International Hospital, a visionary who dares to ask, can art heal the human soul as deeply as medicine heals the body? Okay. Hi everyone, I'm here with Dr. Noel Yeo. He is a President Director and CEO at Bali International Hospital. International recognized hospital located in the Indonesian Health Special Economic Zone in Bali. Thank you, Dr. Noel, for your coming at Lenggong Seni.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
It's a very honor for us to have you as our guest, and I hope that we can share about art and healing at the same time in this podcast.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm very curious about what inspired by IH or Bali International Hospital to integrate the artwork and also medical environment. And are you also an art collector? So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I think it has to start in Bali, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bali is an island where it's has inspired many people, and you know, many European artists have found their way into Bali to create art, right? To paint and to reside here for long term. So you have very many famous ones, which I think you're also much more familiar than me. And I believe also that art has somewhat always found its way into patients, patients' life, right? Because art forms sometimes do confer spiritual healing, right? It's also an expression of the artist, and very often that sort of artistic energy tends to be very positive, right? And that helps people feel much better mentally, spiritually, and that somewhat also translates into physical healing. So I think Bali itself has earned that reputation of being able to combine art, nature, healing into something very special. And therefore, our hospital, being located in Bali, decided to embody this spirit of the Balinese culture. And I believe also that it is also an Indonesian way of life, that art is pretty much something that many people are aware of, and I think that's why this hospital became, somewhat inspired, right? To be able to combine that natural energy that Bali comprises into the day-to-day life, into the way that we interact with patients, and I think we're hoping that this allows patients to feel somewhat more comfortable, right? Have a different dimension of viewing this hospital.
Oh, nice. And how do you define healing beyond clinical treatment?
I think first I believe that healing tends to be somewhat a very holistic word. We look into many areas of life. So likewise, in healing, we are looking at physical healing, right? We look at mental healing. We look at spiritual healing. Some people even consider social healing as a possibility, meaning having healthy relationships with your friends, your family members, right? That also contributes to better peace of mind. I think finally, very important that many of us also need to be aware of is financial healing. Let's not forget that having money, right, while it's not happiness or health itself, but it is in fact a medium for health and for medical treatment to be executed. So I think there are so many aspects of healing per se, right, that is very much seen in day-to-day life and very, very prevalent in Bali. So I think that's how we approach healing in that sense, and art generally contributes to the spiritual aspect, to the mental aspect, and to the social aspect.
Okay. Bali International Hospital is already held the two exhibition, two artist exhibition, since this year?
Since opening
last year,
since opening last year. We opened on 14th of April 2025, and we officially opened on June 25th, right, where President Prabowo came here to inaugurate the special economic zone together with this hospital. So it was in June that we started to have the first exhibition, which was the exhibit by the late Made Wianta, right, Indonesian maestro. His wife very kindly wanted to show the support. Yes, Wianta wanted to show her support for this hospital, as well as to. So I think she wanted to remind people that Pak Made Wianta has also is one person who has attempted healing and attempted to sort of put people together, right? To unite people through his art form. Right? And therefore, she saw that value to have some of his artwork being displayed here. And it's very kind of her. It's done complimentary. So it's at her expense that she displayed the art here, and we did our best to keep the art secure and for people to enjoy every time they visit the hospital.
So what do you think about patient reaction after seeing the exhibition? Is there any positive?
I think I have no means to measure that. Right? Obviously, it's quite hard to have solid evidence to say that that art results in that healing. But I can see that people talk about it. Right? So patients and family members they visit the level 2 walkway, and after that. When we interact with them, they will mention. They will say that, wow, this hospital's lobby is very special to them. It has that art sculpture by Pak Pintor Suret, and also the level 2 has six paintings by Made Wianta at that time, and they felt that it's very refreshing for them and asked. Why not have more? Right? They say the hospital is so big. There are plenty of walls, plenty of places.
They wanted
and they're saying
another exhibition.
And people generally say that it makes them happy when they look at the paintings. It sends them that encouragement that that tomorrow will be better than today, and definitely already better than yesterday. So I think it's that energy of hope that we wanted to convey through art forms, and we found that certain artists like Pak Made Wianta's art very much symbolizes what our hospital believes in.
Okay, so in science, do you believe that art can influence the patient recovery like more faster than maybe after they seeing the art exhibition, and then it's going to be more faster to recovery their health?
So again, likewise, I'm not certain whether there's any evidence out there. I mean, scientifically, has anyone done a research on seeing the effects of art on the human body? But I can say for sure that there are evidence that demonstrate brain activity, right? So they know that brain activity is stimulated by art form, right? And it is very much related to how powerful the message that is being conveyed by the artist. And I think Pak Made Wianta himself has been subject to some form of research before, where the scientist has found that his brain is indeed very, very stimulated during his painting, right? Whenever he creates art form, his brain activity level is more in a very creative level that has never been seen before. And I think the energy is also captured inside his art form. And when people like us, right, we look at his art form and we can understand what he's trying to convey, we also get that same form of stimulation. And that kind of stimulation is important for us, right? It wakes up certain parts of our body, it triggers our brain to respond positively, and as you know, when you're happy, you generally recover much faster. Right? It's proven, right? If you're upset, you're sad, then your whole body is down.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, Bali International Hospital is, in Bali. So what role does Balinese culture play in BIH healing philosophy?
Okay, so I wanted to introduce to everyone that our so far our slogan here, right, is a culture of care.
Oh, okay.
And we go about saying that Bali International Hospital has a culture of care which represents world-class care Balinese heart.
Oh,
right, so
okay.
that is the what we educate our staff when they come here, that we try our very, very best to deliver medications, treatments, surgeries, right, elevated to world-class level, international standards where possible, but never ever lose that element of what makes Bali so special, and what makes the local people so endeared by tourists from all over the world. Bali is very well known for hospitality, very well known for warmth, very well known for sincerity. And I think in our day-to-day we can see that being expressed by our staff here. About 80% of our staff are Balinese, and that includes doctors. And therefore I feel that in a way the Balinese culture is very explicitly demonstrated by our staff, and that is something that is all very, very much seen in our feedback, right? So we do feedback collection from patients, from family members. We solicit the feedback from everywhere.
They feel comfort,
and we always see that there's a recurring theme that's often said that our people here are very warm people, make patients feel comfortable, very good listening ear, and so on and so forth. So it's always very centered around the good hearts of our people. So that's why I think we are staying true to what we believe in, and that is world-class care with a Balinese heart.
Right. And do you have any curated artworks after this? Maybe you really plan to held another exhibition art, and then you a hospital will choose a art curator to curate the artworks, maybe?
Well, we have so far we are now in the second phase of the exhibition. So remember we talked about this. We first started with Made Wianta's art from last year June, and he displayed the artwork was displayed here for about 6 to 7 months, and then we moved into the second exhibition, which is now by Made Wianta, also very excellent, right? Hers is about crystals, it's about beautiful rocks formation, lovely, which you can later capture, right? Some of the art that she has here.
We already interviewed Miss Sherry also.
Oh, really? Wow. That's great. She's a fantastic, fantastic artist.
Great artist.
Yeah, and she has a very unique take to art, right? And that's what we also wanted to share, that she's not exactly Balinese, correct? So we also wanted to share that Bali International Hospital is not just about Balinese culture. The art forms that we believe in, that we will exhibit, comes from all over Indonesia, and we're very proud that Bu Sherry agreed to support us, right, with her arts. And I think I don't exactly have who's next, but we are at this point in discussions with several other artists. I believe it will be in the same caliber as Made Wianta and Bu Sherry Wianta, and that's for everyone else to see. So that's why you should come to the hospital and visit us and stay surprised, right, for what the next exhibition would comprise of. Okay,
we are very waiting for that.
Thank you so much.
So, can you tell us about the concept behind healing environment at BIH? Like we said, we can see that so many green on the hospital, and then what do you think about healing environment in Bali International Hospital?
Yeah, I have worked in hospital for more than 20 years of my career. I spent most of my time working in Singapore, and then I spent a short half a year or so in Vietnam before coming here. I have never seen a hospital like this, in my entire career. It's that special. I'm sure somewhere in this world we will find hospitals that are also unique, that somewhat has the same sort of expression of nature, spiritual healing, positive energy. But I dare say that in Asia Pacific alone, Bali International Hospital is in a league, right, on its own. Not exactly that it's better or worse, but I think it's very unique. One statistic that we have here is 60% of this hospital is in open area, because that is what Bali is about, right? Bali is about working with nature, living with nature, being thankful for what the land, the sky, the earth has given to you, and that's why when patients come here, they will also experience the same sort of feeling. 60% of the hospital is all open, so much greenery out there.
60%, yeah.
Yes, 60%. It's all open in the sense that it's not air conditioned. Right? So down here, when you walk in the hospital, apart from seeing the many plants and flowers that we have carefully curated, you also will feel this gentle breeze. There's always a breeze that comes from the beach or the other way around, right? Because we're in Sanur, it's right next to the coast. It's very comfortable feeling, and we don't have any mechanical ventilation. That means we don't have fans, no ceiling fans, no standing fans, right? You not see anything, but you always get this breeze. So that natural ventilation makes this place very special, and that adds on to the greenery, right, around here, and I think that's somewhat is creating that sort of energy that you never find in any other hospital elsewhere.
Exactly, and more health for patient.
Very, very healthy. And it's also proven during COVID that natural ventilation is the best for infection control. It is much better than air conditioned. And I think, we make the best out of both worlds in terms of infection control and also in accepting nature as part of the hospital. And I think a bit of history of this hospital, of the land that we're seated on. It used to be a 9-hole golf course that is managed by as part of Bali Beach Hotel, and this place has been converted into a special economic zone, and therefore the hospital occupies part of this golf course. And so some of our trees here are very, very old trees. They are the original trees that were part of the golf course, and you can see some really, really tall ones that we try our very best to preserve.
Still in front of it.
Yeah, you can have a look later. There's one tree that has been around for 3 centuries, according to our staff.
Okay. And I want to ask about, does art also support the mental well-being of doctors and staff? Is it true or not?
For me, it's probably true. That's because I understand art. I believe in art.
Do you also collect the art?
I collect some artwork. Though my interest in art started when I was very young. I learned art in my elementary school days, and I did primarily paint in watercolors. Right? So I don't do anything else but watercolors, right? And I think to this day I can still do a bit of amateur painting. So I learned about art from young. So that's why I appreciate it, and I definitely feel that art helps people to feel better, to recover. It also gives people something to talk about. So example, if I, like yourself and me, we might not know each other, but when we stand in front of the artwork, we can look at it together,
we can discuss,
and then we can discuss. We can talk about, how does this art make me feel, make you feel, and we try to guess what the artist is trying to do. We can look at the strokes, right? We can see why this sort of medium, why this sort of paint, why this color. So it gives us common things to talk about, and when it's something common, that's where your energies would different wavelengths, right, would then find the same, and then you can connect. And that's what art allows us to do. Correct. You form social bonds through art, and therefore I think patients who understand art can bond very well with our staff, doctors, nurses, therapists who understand art as well. And that once you get to know your medical professionals better, then you'll be much more comfortable to talk about yourself, talk about your life, and so on and so forth. So I think it's true that it allows the medical professionals and the patients and the families to get to know each other better if everyone understands art.
Okay, so can art be considered a complementary form of therapy, or maybe in the future? I
think that's something that we are working towards, because I have seen in, especially in neurological rehabilitation therapy, where patients are encouraged to paint. And these are patients who suffer stroke or had some neurological problems in the brain, in the spine. Their nerves are affected. So therapies are known to use arts as a means to stimulate regeneration or revitalization of their nervous system. And like I said earlier on, that the creativity required in arts awakens a part of your brain that you may not have used for a long time. And therefore art therapy has been proven to be able to allow patients to recover better. And therefore I think we'll be looking to incorporate art therapy as one way for us to treat patients with neurological disorders such as stroke. I think in the future we can look out for having art therapy down here.
Like collaboration.
Oh, for sure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Noel, for your time, and I hope that in the future we can like cooperate maybe, or we can meet and discuss a lot about art.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Noel.
Cheers.
Perhaps healing is not only found in prescription, but in presence, not only in procedure, but in artworks. At Bali International Hospital, we are reminded that the human spirit longs not just to survive, but also to feel, to connect, to be whole again. And in that quiet dialogue between art and medicine, we may discover a deeper truth, that healing is not just about repairing the body, but also about restoring the soul.